I don't think we know how to manage our life correctly, and life doesn't come with a guidebook. It doesn't come with, when you're in this condition, seek out these remedies. Start exercising, get together with your friends, tell them you love them, meet up and have dinner and hug each other, sleep well, drink water. Also, you know, so many of us have a bad head start. So you're coming out of this stressful pocket, or maybe your dad goes to jail, or maybe your mom dies when you're young. All these things that happen to people where they have this bad start, right? And then they develop defense mechanisms to deal with all their insecurities, and they get around similar-minded people, and you curse the world and everybody and the police and this, and then you get in these communities of people that think the same way. And then maybe there's gangs, and maybe there's drugs, and maybe there's crime and despair and sadness, and maybe just negative people. Maybe there's none of the above. Maybe there's no danger. It's just annoying. Every day people complaining about shit. And you're stuck in the mud of humanity with people. It's real hard to engineer 350 million people out of that. But for yourself, you can take actions to make your life better. And if everybody did that, if everybody took actions to make their life a happier experience by doing those things, by exercising, eating well, hugging friends, and enhancing community, just trying to be nicer to people. If you don't have certain standards, then other people will chew up all your time, and their problems become your problems, and they're not even thinking about their problems. They're thinking about you thinking about their problems. I mean, there's many people that pawn off their problems on other folks, and they think that if you're a good friend, you're helping me. Like, you're not a good friend. You're not taking care of me. You're not helping me. Like, you're not even helping yourself. The f*** are you doing for yourself? Like, this is a trap that a lot of people get stuck into. It's codependency. It happens in a lot of relationships. There's a lot of people that get involved in relationships, boy and girl, that they find that the person who is their soulmate is also the source of all their problems, and they're the curator of this person's life. They're supposed to be like helping this person along, because this person is like deemed them the person who's most important to them. And it's like you gotta find out what, you know, what's the boundary. People are so crazy. They want you to believe, I don't have the energy to exercise. To give people this excuse, I don't have the energy to exercise. That is crazy to say. Can you walk to the refrigerator? Yes. Well, you can exercise. You don't have to do anything crazy. Just walk around the block. There's 80-year-old ladies who take yoga with me. They're really old, and they're in there. They're going after it. They could easily say, I don't have the energy to do that. But they don't. It's a mental attitude. They make a decision. You don't have to go to a CrossFit class and try to do the workout of the day. You don't have to go nuts and do clean and presses with 150 pounds. You don't have to do that, but you have to do something. Just get your blood moving. Your body has requirements. It wants to move. It really does. And when it does, you feel better. But people like to give themselves this excuse. I do not have the energy to do this. Whatever. If you decide that, that's true. But if you watch a motivational video, there's 100 of them on YouTube, thousands even. You go watch one, you'll get fired up. You're like, and I'm gonna jump some rope. You jump some rope, you do something. Just do some push-ups, do something, do some body weight squats. You'll feel better. But it's also like learning that and having that as a part of your daily life. I'm talking about just a regular person who's overweight. You can do it. There's a lady who's like 450 pounds that takes yoga with me. She's enormous. She's in there. She's probably really embarrassing, very hard to do, you know, and she's in there. Anyone could do it. We can do it. And again, I'm not saying do what Michael Phelps does. I'm just saying just do something. Got to do something. We have up lifestyles. The human body is not designed to sit down all day, and it's certainly not designed to be stuck in traffic and be in an office and just be, you know, fluorescent lights and just sitting there in front of a computer monitor watching your soul get sucked through the LCD screen. It's crazy. You can appreciate some things. You can appreciate a nice car or a nice house, but if you get really caught up in them, you are trying to fill up a bucket with a hole in it. Yeah. And it's never going to fill up. Yeah. You're always just going to look for bigger and bigger things to try to fill that bucket up, and you're going to feel full of anxiety all the time chasing that. Yeah. And there's no real satisfaction. Then that's why, you know, when you look at one of the things that people look at, when you look at people that are extremely materialistic, that, you know, wear the most fancy jewelry and drive the most fancy cars and the biggest houses, we always think they're shallow. Yeah. Always. I mean, isn't that funny? Like the thing that you would look at in terms of like, like markers for success. Markers is like material things are the big ones, right?
Yeah.
They're the big markers for success. The big house, that's the big one, right?
Yeah.
Big ass mansion. Look at this mansion.
Big everything.
Big everything. Look at the big rock on his finger.
Yeah.
Big chain, big this, big that. There's nothing there. You constantly be working to make sure that you are always evaluating your perspective on life and always looking at things. Meditate, constantly meditate. Make sure that you approach life with a learned perspective, like you're a better person than you were the day before. And whatever you're trying to do, whether it's fighting or whether you have an art form that you practice, whatever it is that you're doing, you're trying to do better every day. You can only have so much success in this life before you start thinking that you're different than other people. You're thinking that you're something special. No, look, if you're on a path, right? If everybody's on a path and you start off here and then X amount of years later, you're way away. Yeah. You can start thinking, oh, I'm better than all those. Yeah. But you're not. You just have been on this path longer, and you haven't fallen off of it. You've figured out what you need to do to stay on that path. We know a lot of people that were on the path at one time in their career, and then something happened and they lost their enthusiasm, or their body wasn't as healthy, or whatever the happened, and they dropped off. I'm still on that path.
Why?
Because I figured it out.
What is it?
Keep going. Keep going. Don't be a keep working. Improve. Objectively analyze your performance. Look at what you're doing wrong. Treat everything with respect. Treat all of your endeavors with focus and intensity and intention. Look at what you're doing. And pay attention and do the work. Do the goddamn work. Do the writing. Do the performing. You'll see me. I'll do 4 or 5 sets a night in LA. Yeah. I'm doing 15, 20 minutes, half hour. I'll do an hour here. I'll go down to the Ice House. I'll do an hour at the Ice House. I'm doing 2 shows at the Ice House tomorrow night. Right. And I go. There's no excuses. I go. It's like, to me, the way I've got it set up, it's great. My kids go to bed. By the time my kids are in bed, I leave.
You're out.
I say goodnight. I tuck them in. I'm out the door. I'm headed to the club. I'm home in 4 hours, And when I'm done, I get in front of the computer and I write. I get up in the morning. I see him off to school, go back to sleep, or I go to the gym. I get things done. Keep moving.